they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Up and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Up and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Look my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Up and get us swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around us, how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams.
Right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah, and this is your Daily Vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, so let's get ready to get back into it. Okay, y'all know Trump's about to get out here and tell a whole bunch of lies, but we're going to listen, okay, because we need to know exactly what he's lying about at all times, okay? Hello, G from the land. Pretty Wings is in the virtual building. Chris is here. Chris B. All right, Claudette. Let's get into it. Jerron. Spiritoso is here. Christopher Perkins. All right, Deronda. We the people. All right, let's get into it. Millicent. Everybody hit that like button. Also, double check and make sure you're still subscribed, especially if you have not been receiving notifications. All right, Desmond is here. Lady Painter. All right, Queen Huey is in the virtual building. Claudette. Porto Fisher. Shout out to my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay, Dr. Van Van is here. All right, with that all being said, let's have a brief word from my sponsor before we get into it. Hey, Reggie. Okay, Dark Tube is here. All right. Okay, here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right. So don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com, and she sells beard oil. Okay, so before we get into this whole thing with Trump or whatever he's going to say, let's talk about Diddy and 50 Cent in this documentary because there is beef going around. Okay, there's beef going around. Y'all know just days ago, 50 was into it with Marlon Wayans because Marlon voiced his opinions about the documentary. Then Dame Dash came out and had something to say, and 50 had some words for him. But now Jim Jones and Maino have entered the chat, and we're going to get into it. But before we talk about that, let's talk about this. So y'all remember that nefarious lawyer Tyrone Blackburn, who has been accused of telling lies and embellishing stories and just being overly theatrical and dramatic in his filings? Well, looks like he's gotten himself into some trouble with a judge because he filed this lawsuit against Diddy and used AI. And the judge was none too thrilled about that. And this isn't the first time he's done it, supposedly, because they say he did the same thing in a lawsuit filed against TD Jakes, allegedly. So Tyrone Blackburn has been reported to have used artificial intelligence in court filings in a lawsuit involving Sean Diddy Combs, and a judge has sanctioned him for it. So, in a civil case where Blackburn represented an accuser of Sean Diddy Combs, a federal judge found that he used generative AI to help draft legal documents and then included hallucinated, i.e., fabricated, okay, or non existent case law and legal propositions in the court filing. What? Did I hear this? This is what a whole lawyer did. How is this man credible? So Blackburn admitted to using AI that produced these incorrect citations and acknowledged that he failed to properly verify the output before including it in his brief. How dumb could you be? Now, as a result, the judge fined him $6,000 and ordered him to notify relevant state bar associations about the ethical issues tied to his AI usage so those bodies could take appropriate action. He's going to be in even more trouble and likely get more sanctions. At this point, they should just go ahead and take his darn license, because how many times has he been in trouble and been accused of just embellishing stuff, i.e., lying? Okay, this is all so problematic for any lawyer. So using AI generated content in legal filings without verifying its accuracy is very risky. Now, in Blackburn's case, the judge explicitly said the fabrication stemmed from AI hallucinations, basically outputs that sound plausible but are factually false. Sounds like somebody I know. And that Blackburn didn't adequately check them. Okay, this isn't the only controversy around Blackburn and AI. He's faced similar issues in other cases where AI-related errors appeared in filings. I told you, okay? So I find it also interesting. What is wrong with him? Now, they say he represented an accuser, filed a lawsuit on behalf of the accuser alleging sexual assault, trafficking, and other misconduct by Sean Combs. That suit has been highly publicized and controversial. Now, the judge found that he used the AI-generated material in his legal briefs. In December of 2025, the judge concluded Blackburn had relied on artificial intelligence tools to draft certain parts of the court filing, including hallucinated case law, meaning citations to legal cases that are absolutely not in existence. Citing a case called United States versus Masha in 2021 federal appeals decision, where they say which has no record of existing. The case didn't even happen. The judge said Blackburn admitted using AI producing this inaccurate material and then failed to properly verify it before submitting it to court. Rather than dismissing the case, the federal judge ordered a $6,000 fine and said that he has to notify the Bar Association. Okay, so that all being said, in a separate lawsuit brought by rapper Fat Joe against Blackburn and his client Terrence T.A. Dixon, Fat Joe's attorneys argued that Blackburn's motion to dismiss was riddled with at least 10 instances of apparently AI-generated hallucinated citations and along with other errors. Blackburn reportedly attempted to withdraw and fix the filings, telling the court that he found inadvertent citation inaccuracies, but the judge did not allow a corrected filing, instead requiring him to deal with the issues in further briefing. Okay, then later, LexisNexis, the legal research service he had claimed produced some of the citations, suggestions publicly, said he was not authorized use of their AI tools challenging his explanation for the errors. Let me tell y'all something. See, now he done got caught in a lie. And I'm going to tell you how you know he's lying. Now, he's sitting here saying that LexisNexis, that's where he's trying to say he got this bullshit from. LexisNexis is very thorough. Okay. And then it said that he's not even authorized to use their AI tools. And he likely isn't, because you see, in order to use LexisNexis, you have to have special clearance. Okay, you just can't be using it. This is what the government uses for certain things. Professors use it. Okay, and on college campuses, for example, like when I have given it out to my students to use, the code changes like every quarter or every semester, whichever one you're on. So you might be able to use it one quarter, but not the next. But you have to have special permission and clearance. Either you're going to be a professor and you're using it, or you're going to be somebody who gives it to students to use, or somebody who's working in the government or something like that. You could be an intern, okay, something like that. But Tyrone Blackburn sitting here trying to say that LexisNexis generated this bullshit that he's using that's inaccurate. Yeah, that just wasn't smart. Okay, because I highly doubt that LexisNexis would produce any sort of fictitious information. Now they go on to say, courts allow lawyers to use research tools and technology, but the attorneys must verify all legal authorities and statements. Okay. And AI hallucinations that invent case law are just not acceptable. Just making up bullshit around here. Is that what you're doing, Tyrone Blackburn? I find it all nefarious, don't y'all? Don't y'all find it nefarious? Because I certainly do. Now let's get into the beef of it all. Let me hurry up and get this done before Trump starts talking. Now, first of all, Diddy, Drewski, and Odell Beckham Jr., the lawsuit that was filed against them, well, it's been dismissed. The lawsuit dismissed, and the plaintiff couldn't find the lawyer to take the case. So the lawsuit filed against Diddy, Drewski, and Odell Beckham Jr. that attempted to paint them as sexual predators at a party in 2018 has been tossed out because the judge ruled none of the defendants ever got served the papers, and the plaintiff couldn't lock down a lawyer to handle the case after her original one dropped out. So probably because it sounds frivolous. It probably is frivolous. That's usually why a lawyer doesn't want to take it. Because trust me, if lawyers think they can get some money out of something like this, they're definitely going to take it. Okay, if they don't, that means that it's likely something that they feel is not even credible. So on Wednesday, a federal judge in California dismissed the case brought by a woman named Ashley Parham, who filed a suit back in October 2024, claiming that she had been assaulted by Diddy, Drewski, and Odell Beckham Jr. at a party in Orinda, California. Now, the people she went after immediately challenged the claims. Okay, Odell Beckham Jr. questioned ever being in the area. Drewski dropped receipts of his empty bank account to prove that he wasn't even a celebrity at that time. And Diddy was hit with several similar lawsuits, also, who was hit with several similar lawsuits, also slammed the claims. Parham's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell, who I told y'all was shady and a whole liar, in my opinion, a long time ago, withdrew from the case in September, and the judge says Parham missed several crucial time extension dates, including the time to find new legal counsel or to even declare that she wanted to proceed without one. Drewski was happy with the decision and slammed Parham, but still sent a positive message in a statement saying it was only a matter of time before this frivolous lawsuit against me was dismissed. He added that, I pray for the real victims of assault. We can't allow these clout-chasing antics to deter true survivors from coming forward and speaking out against their abusers in the future. Case dismissed. Okay, what a way to end it. All right, so y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Now, with that all being said, that's taken care of. But now let's talk about this beef here. Jim Jones and 50 Cent. 50 Cent clashes with Maino after violating Jim Jones over Diddy documentary comments. 50 may be making headlines for his not-so-flattering Diddy documentary, but another of his long-running rivalries continues to provide primetime entertainment. On Monday, December the 15th, 50 took aim at Jim Jones for criticizing his aforementioned docuseries, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, on his Let's Rap About It podcast, which he co-host with fellow New York rappers Maino, Fabulous, and Dave East. So during a recent episode of the show, the former Dipset member took issue with 50 executive producing the documentary, which examines Diddy's alleged history of abuse, domestic violence, and exploitation, as well as his long rumored involvement in the deaths of Tupac and Biggie. Now, defending Puffy, Jones said, "You don't want nobody doing a documentary trying to make your whole career or make your whole character look weak. That's petty behavior. It's really not a documentary, it's more like a mockumentary." 50 fired back on Instagram, writing, "I understand Diddy was your hero. Stay down with him. I don't care if you let him play with your butt, then act like you don't remember." 50's a whole mess. He further mocked Jones by sharing pictures of him snapping awkward selfies with celebrities such as Jay-Z, Pusha T, and Gervonta Davis, as well as news headlines about the rapper's financial issues. Not financial woes. The G Unit general also targeted Maino, Fabulous, Dave East in his rant, writing in a separate post that these guys are squatters. They owe $250,000 for the space that they're filming their podcast. These bums are trying to win Best Dressed Award and can't pay their bills. While Jim Jones, Fabulous, and Dave East have yet to respond, Maino took it upon himself to lock horns with 50 Cent. Now, in an equally derisive Instagram post, the Brooklyn native shared an edited photo of Fifth as a woman and wrote, "Meet Killer Curly, ladies and gentlemen. He helped me get my record deal before. So I'ma always be grateful. So it's gonna hurt me to drag this ninja to hell." That's what he said. He said, F is the problem, Curtis. The uck is the problem, Curtis. What has your G Unit G string in a bunch, ninja? Is it the biatch or the diabetes? But let's rap about it. This is getting real ugly, folks. So 50 Cent and Jim Jones's feud ignited earlier this year after the former appeared on Cameron's YouTube show Talk with Flea and ridiculed Capo for being used as a pawn during his high-profile beef with Cam in the late 2000s, explaining how he manipulated Jones, who at the time was one of Cameron's closest cohorts, into performing with him, a move Cam called a checkmate moment. 50 sneered, saying, "I just took the shot because I wasn't sure Jim Jones was going to go for it. I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cammy. You got to watch and see how he responds. And then you see, oh, shit, he really likes that. Okay, tell him we want you at the show, Jim." That was one of those things where I just threw it out there and to see what would happen, and he bit. Now Jones later fired back at 50 and Cameron on Just La Boy's Respectfully podcast, saying, "Them ninjas be on my D. Them ninjas ain't got nothing else to think about but Capo. I did a lot for them ninjas in their life. You heard? Both of them. Pause. Get off my D. It's only space on there for baby girl. Come on, man. Tugging on my ish like that." This all sounds childish, but anyway, let me continue. He added that them ninjas in G Unit couldn't even dress, but 50 had a platform for me to perform in front of thousands of people in New York. Yeah, I'm taking that. It's all so childish. What do y'all think? And now they say that 50's talking about buying up the place where they record their podcast. 50 Cent eggs on beef with Jim Jones and Maino over Diddy doc. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson hit back at Jim Jones's critique of the Netflix doc Sean Jones, The Reckoning, throwing Maino into the mix. Okay, he's embroiled in a back and forth with Jim Jones, with the Harlem rapper throwing shots at Fifth over the Queen's mogul producing the recent Netflix documentary. Now, earlier this week, 50 posted a video clip featuring Jim Jones, Dave East, and Fabulous, directly part of the Let's Rap About It podcast, discussing the Sean Combs documentary. Hold on, let me show you all this picture of 50 with what looks like it looks kind of like a Jerry curl. Here's the thing, though. Y'all see it? They need to stop. This is all getting out of hand. And it's also childish because here's the thing. Now, at the end of the day, 50 should not be, if I were 50, I would not be trying to address everybody that is saying something about the documentary that he doesn't like. Because you're going to be going and getting into it with somebody every day. And also, he needs to keep in mind that people are entitled to their opinions, okay, whether we like them or not. Just like he has an opinion, other people are entitled to one too. But you know, it's funny because 50's so petty and he loves to say things about other people, but when someone says something about him, it's a problem. He needs to sit down somewhere, okay? Because I don't think it's gonna turn out good with Maino if it keeps going. Okay, Maino fired back with an Instagram post of his own using Photoshop to make 50 appear to be wearing a sew-in wig and women's jewelry. That gold hoop earring is hilarious. Okay. Portia Fisher said 50 was in the tub with a Diddy in the hot tub. Shaking my head. Was he? Dark 2 said 50 is using one of the 48 laws of power to stay relevant. DJ Big 6 said 50 will get his ninja wake-up call. I'm gonna tell you like this: 50 is funny and all that, but it's not gonna be funny in a minute if he keeps on with Maino. I just don't think it is. I don't think anybody's gonna be laughing in a few minutes. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I just don't think anybody is gonna be laughing in a minute. Now, with that all being said, hold on. Darn it, I clicked off my Trump thing. Let me go back because we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Oh, but let me tell you all this, beloveds. While I'm pulling up the Trump thing, I want you all to hear this because you know they changed the maps in Texas. Okay, and here's what they now say. Now listen to this. This is about the maps.
Under this map, white Texans receive 1 member of Congress for every 445,000 residents. If you're Hispanic, it takes about 1.4 million residents for that same representation. If you are black, it takes 2 million. In this proposal, a Hispanic Texan has 1/3 the political value of a white Texan under this plan, and a black Texan 1/5. It would take 3 Hispanics to equal the representation of 1 white Texan and 5 black Texans to equal the value of 1 white Texan. Any fair reading of this map shows what it actually does. It systematically dilutes Latino and black voting strength while cementing and increasing Anglo control. We have not seen a map this deliberately engineered by skin color since the days that brought Americans to march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama in the 1960s. Marches that helped to bring about the Voting Rights Act just months later. You cannot say you found a way for one racial group that is 40% of our state's population to have 70% political control in this state and say that the racial disparities are merely coincidental. This map is an abomination. It is shameful.
Okay, you all heard that, honey. It is shameful, honey. No lies detected. I mean, this is what they're still doing in 2025. Okay, voter suppression is still alive and kicking. All right, so is racism. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you all what Trump's going to say, beloveds. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you all what Trump's going to say. First of all, let me just tell you all something. Peep game. Okay, because Trump's going to get up here and he's going to demonize. I want you to pay attention. He's going to demonize the Venezuelans as per usual, talking about their rug smuggling, how they're sending people over here, coming over here, killing Americans with their illegal substances. He's going to go hard in the paint on them. He's going to talk about how they've stolen our oil, our land. They've stolen things from the United States. It's time for them to pay up and give it all back, even though they haven't stolen anything. Okay, the real reason that Trump's doing all of this is not only just for the regime change, which he's going to talk about that too, and he's going to give himself credit when the regime change does happen, like I told you earlier. But the main reason why Trump is doing all of this to Venezuela, in my opinion, is because he wants their rare earth minerals. He wants to enrich himself and his family, his sons and daughter. Okay? Here we go.
Good evening, America. 11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, and some would say in the history of our country, which caused prices to be higher than ever before, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people, many who came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murders, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person. This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again. We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels with law enforcement, and words such as that just absolutely forbidden. We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world, but they're not laughing anymore. Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history. There's never been anything like it, and I think most would agree. I was elected in a landslide, winning the popular vote and all 7 swing states and everything else, with a mandate to take on a sick and corrupt system that really just took the wealth from people and crushed the dreams of the American people. For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before. They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America. They just released a level of violent felons that we had never seen to prey on innocent. They caused war. They caused mayhem. They caused a horrible situation all over the globe. But now you have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hardworking people of our country, the ones who make this nation run, who make this nation work. And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined. Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely passed legislation to help close the border. He was always blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president. We inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from worst to best. We're deporting criminals, restoring safety to our most dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at levels of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%. We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools, and control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states where education belongs. After rebuilding the United States military in my first term, and with the addition we are adding right now, we have the most powerful military anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. I've restored American strength, settled 8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace to the Middle East, and secured the release of the hostages, both living and dead. Here at home, we're bringing our economy back from the brink of ruin. The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices and everything at levels never seen before. I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast. Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration,
Let me pause him for a second. Luna said, my lips are sealed, don't want to be blocked. Luna, you're not going to be blocked. Go ahead and say what you want. We know you love Trump. Okay, it's okay, beloved. Nobody's going to be mad. But hold on, I want to show you all something real quick and then we'll get back to it. Hold on, let me just stop the share for a second. Hold on. Here we go. This is what I want you all to see. Now, I was telling you all before he started talking, I was telling you all what he was going to say. And I'll be darned if he isn't saying exactly what I was telling you all almost verbatim. Now, here's I wrote it down earlier. Okay, I said he wants the rare earth minerals. Now, he's not going to talk about that. I'm just telling you that's why he's messed with them for his own wealth, and Donald Trump Jr. is invested in this. Okay, he's going to say the Venezuelans are smuggling the rugs, how he stopped 8 wars, Venezuelans killing our people. Economy is at its best, especially in comparison to Biden and Obama. Didn't he say that? He said he inherited a mess. Okay, talking about the rugs and fentanyl are now weapons of mass destruction. He's going to say that, I'm pretty sure. Venezuela must have a regime change. That's not the real reason for his invasion, though. Okay, it's the regime change, but he wants the credit, and he'll claim to be doing what no other president has done. He's making historic changes. We inherited a big mess, but we're going to clean it up and we'll be stronger. Didn't he literally just say that he inherited the mess? I just want you all to pay attention. That's all. I just want you all to pay attention, okay? I wrote that on my tablet earlier and screenshot it and sent it to my email. But I just want y'all to see that, okay? I know Trump so well. We all should know him by now, okay? We should know him by now. We're clearly on to him is all I'm saying, all right? So with that all been said, we should know his moves before he even makes them.
Car prices rose 22%, and in many states, 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now, under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82% since March, and everything else is falling rapidly. And it's not done yet, but boy, are we making progress. Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000. Under Trump, the typical factory worker has seen a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800. For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300. And for the first time in years, wages are rising much faster than inflation. Remember that. The wages, just look at it. Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history, and 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector. Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great. This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater national security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that if they build in America, there are no tariffs, and that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we haven't seen, AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible. There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months. Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great, big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special, we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend. In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interests to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward. And I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called Most Favored Nation, and no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people. That's you. So they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower costs. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost. And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich, and the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody, or certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking. And I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further. Early the new year, and you will see this, in the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens, 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. And we're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, the vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day, not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected, and our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
All right. That was y'all's president sitting up there lying through his teeth and through the screen. Okay, so let's talk about it. First of all, everything Trump said about the economy booming is lies. Saying eggs went down, all lies. I literally paid over $11 for eggs today. How about y'all? Okay, I bought eggs today and they were over $11. So no, prices are not down, Trump. Please sit down somewhere. And then he said the military enlisting is the highest that it's ever been. That's a lie. Okay, that is a lie. I was sitting here fact checking some of his bullshit. Okay, the military enlistment is not at an all-time high. In fact, it's at an all-time low. Okay, Trump just doesn't care about what lie he tells. Here's what it says. I typed in, is there more military enlistment than ever? No, military enlistment is is not at an all-time high, but after years of decline, hitting a low in 2022, numbers are significantly improving, reversing the trend, with the Army and other branches meeting or exceeding goals in fiscal years 2024 and 2025, indicating a strong turnaround from a significant recruitment crisis, though quality standards remain a concern. Okay, so it did rise in 2024, but it definitely is not up to the highest ever. So clearly an exaggeration. Now, I told you he was going to be bragging about how he's done things that nobody else has done. It's all historic, and all these other presidents couldn't figure out a way to do. I knew he was going to do that. Okay, we knew he was going to say all of that, and much of that was all lies too. Okay. He talked about the tariffs and people getting so much money, more than ever, back on your tax returns this year than ever. How could he possibly know that? What kind of allowances are they giving for this to even be true? That's something that we can't corroborate until after people start getting their tax returns. A lot of things that he said are futuristic, so we're going to have to wait and see. But I'm pretty sure it was all lies and BS. What do y'all think? Okay, what do y'all think? Wolfie says enlistment is terrible now. Okay. And then said he's high on himself. He clearly is. And speaking of high on himself, let me tell you all something. Hold on. No, before I get into that, okay, I don't want to forget to talk about his son. Okay, now, mind you, I told you all that the real reason, in my opinion, that Trump is doing all of this with Venezuela is because he wants the rare earth minerals to enrich himself and his family. You see, his son, Donald Trump Jr., invest in this. Okay, hold on, because I went and did a little digging. So, Donald Trump Jr., through the venture capital firm that he is a partner in, okay, 1789 Capital, has invested in a rare earth mineral setup. Okay, please pay attention. That's why Trump's messing with Venezuela. His son is invested in rare earth minerals in a startup called Volcan Elements. And they want what they can get from Venezuela. Okay. Now, Donald Trump Jr. joined 1789 Capital as a partner in 2024 and is reportedly very involved in its strategic investment decisions. So in August of 2025, 1789 Capital invested in Volcan Elements, a North Carolina-based startup that produces rare earth magnets. Okay, this investment has drawn significant attention, and here's why. Because just months after 1789 Capital's investment, Volcan Elements secured a record-setting $620 million loan from the U.S. Department of Defense. Talk about a conflict of interest, okay, from the U.S. Department of Defense as part of a larger $1.4 billion deal to boost domestic magnet production. Giving out government contracts to a company that your son is invested in is crazy work. Now, this was the largest loan ever from the Pentagon's Office of Strategic Capital. Y'all hear this? And just remember, you heard it here first. Now, the timing of the federal contract awarded by his father's administration has raised conflicts of interest and ethics concerns. Although I don't even think Ben Masalis has got this story yet. Okay. Those spokespeople for both the company and Donald Trump Jr. have denied any political influence in the deal. Now, we know that's all lies and BS. How could they not? The CEO of Vulcan Elements stated he was never or has never met Donald Trump Jr. At least that's what that president said too. Wasn't who was that president that they were saying was doing there was some kind of deal going on with Donald Trump Jr.? I'll tell you in just a second. Anyway, because he also said he'd never met Donald Trump Jr., and I don't believe a word of it. At least 4 companies within the 1789 capital portfolio have reportedly received government contracts in 2025, totaling over a whopping $735 million. Please pay attention. Additionally, a close friend and associate of Donald Trump Jr., Gentry Beach, has reportedly met with Pakistan's prime minister to discuss potential rare earth and real estate deals, further connecting the Trump family business circle to the critical mineral sector. Yeah, I think I just solved the whole case by myself. Okay. I think I just solved the whole case by myself. I want y'all to pay attention. All right. Isn't that some shady goings on? Wouldn't you say? Okay. Wouldn't you say? Mm, mm, mm. I find it all interesting. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Hold on. I'm still trying to remember who was that leader that said that he didn't know Donald Trump Jr. I can't remember, but it was something else shady that was going on, if y'all remember. Okay. So sneaky. Trump is fattening his pockets, honey. That's all he's doing. Okay. And by the way, this is what I was going to tell you all before I told you that. So also, Trump has he has erected a presidential wall of fame. Let's talk about this because they say that under each president's picture, he has written a few words describing them. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Let me see here. Trump's a whole mess. Okay, here we go. Trump's out here changing the game, y'all. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. This man has, here it is right here. I think this is where they're going to show. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Trump is a mess.
To the so-called presidential walk of fame. They almost read some of them like Truth Social posts, including the ones under President Obama's that says he was one of the most divisive political figures in American history. Under President Biden's, it describes him as Sleepy Joe Biden and also says that he was the worst U.S. president in history. There are some that are nicer, including under Ronald Reagan's, for example, where President Trump says at the end that he was a fan of Trump's long before he ran for president. The White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, says the president actually hand wrote some of these plaques himself.
I am pissed for the American people. This is
bullish. Hear this. Really? So Trump hand wrote some of the plaques himself, some of the messages. Honey, this is all hilarious. Okay. And then the nerve of him to say that Biden was a crook, to say that Obama was the most divisive president in history. Oh, honey, he's talking about himself. Okay. He gets that one. How was Obama divisive? Honey, I find it interesting that racist devils can be divisive and can be low down and nefarious. And the people that they do these things to, they'll turn around and act like those people are the problem. For example, when you point out their racism, then they'll try to say you're racist for pointing out racism. These are the tricks they try to play that only fools would fall for. Do y'all hear this? He said Obama was the most divisive. I find it all so interesting. Trump is nefarious. Okay, when you look up the word nefarious in the dictionary, there's a picture of the orange man. Okay, y'all hear me? This joker right here. And then he said Sleepy Joe. And what did he say? He was a crook. Way to project, Trump. Okay, because I'm sorry, if ever a presidential, if ever a president that was a crook, if ever there was, it's definitely him. Okay, he's even gotten Richard Nixon beat, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm out of here. Listen, everybody, please like and share. All right, like and share. Oh, hold on. Let me just let you all see what Carolyn Levitt had to say once again. You know, the stuff that they were saying about Susie Wiles, the comments that she made. Did you all know that she said Elon Musk was on ketamine? Did y'all know that? That she said he was like a dope head, basically. Once in the chat, if y'all knew she said that about Elon. Did anybody know that? Because I sure didn't, but hold on. Let me roll the footage, and then we're out of here.
This is, unfortunately, another example of disingenuous reporting, where you have a reporter who took the chief of staff's words wildly out of context. I think the most egregious part of this article was the bias of omission.
Are things taken out of context? Because some of the quotes they're tight. I mean, they're just, it's like
everything was scrupulously in context. There isn't a single fact or a single assertion that they've challenged in the piece.
Susie Wiles did at one point say that she denied saying that Elon Musk is an avowed ketamine user. You then apparently, according to the reporting, you played a tape for the New York Times which confirmed that quote.
It's on tape, as is every assertion that Susie made. And as you know, I interviewed the Inner Circle as well. I talked to J.D. Vance, I talked to Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller, and others. All of it taped, all of it on the record.
She got in there and got to running her mouth. Girl, you can't get out of this one. They have it on tape, ma'am. They have it all on tape, and they have the transcripts to boot.
It is a candid assessment of the whole team, the whole White House team, in what is surely one of the most consequential White House administrations in living memory. J.D. Vance, she said he is a conspiracy theorist, or at least he was for many years. Elon Musk, a ketamine user. Well, we thought we knew that. She's confirming it. And she also confirmed the rumor that he would sleep in a sleeping bag in the White House annex offices during his time running Doge. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, well, Susie Wiles says that she whiffed the Epstein files. In other words, she screwed up the release of them. And then on the president himself, James, I thought a really interesting observation. She said that the famous teetotal president has the personality of an alcoholic. He operates as if there is nothing he couldn't do, she says.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. Interesting, intriguing because of who's saying it as much as what's being said, I suppose. Susie Wiles, she talked politics as well as personality, said she'd seen the Epstein files, said that Trump was in them, but had done nothing wrong. She said that he and Jeffrey Epstein had only been acting like young, single playboys. Now, bearing in mind she gave this interview, relatively recently, I do find that an astonishing characterization, dismissive of Epstein's past as a convicted child sex trafficker and paedophile, don't forget. The president has reacted to Susie Wiles' remarks. For now, she has the manager's vote of confidence. He said he wasn't offended by Wiles' comments, even admitting to the New York Post that he does have an alcoholic's personality, citing his possessive personality as the reason why he's never been a drinker.
Imagine what those Truth Social posts would be like if he'd had a whiskey or two.
I find it all nefarious, don't y'all? Don't y'all? All right. I find it all interesting. So she said that Elon is on ketamine. So is that why he's looking crazy sometimes, like he's spaced out or he's glitching or something? Is that what's going on with him? Someone said that Azalea Banks had said that about him too. How would Azalea Banks know? Has she been hanging out with Elon? I have several questions, though I wouldn't be surprised if she had. Yeah, that's what Sierra said. Azalea Banks said that a while ago about him being on ketamine. Mm, mm, mm. All right then. Wolfie Israel said Elon put Doge in his nose. Not Doge in his nose. Portia said, just look at his eyes. I know they look crazy. I just thought maybe he was autistic on the spectrum or something like that. That's just what I thought. But he's out here doing illegal substances. These people are a whole hot mess. All right? They're a whole hot mess. It's no telling what else they have going on. I dread the thought. Okay? I shudder to think of what else they have going on. Like the guy just said, imagine what those Truth Social posts would be like if Trump had a shot or two of whiskey. Okay? He's doing all of this stuff in his clear and right mind. Okay? Without the use of any sort of substances, I'm saying. Okay, just imagine. Anyway, Sierra said nobody took her story seriously, but it's making sense now. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy the rest of this night. I will see you all in the morning for your morning wake-up call. Okay, so with that all being said, each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got